Today, I want to talk about showing up with the warrior woman mindset in business. And I'll introduce Victoria Knowles Lacks to you shortly. A little bit about her. She embodies the whole warrior woman in all throughout her brand, in everything she does. It is her North Star. She is a best-selling author of the book Make It Happen. She built a seven-figure business in a male-dominated area of clay pigeon shooting, the Shotgun and Chelsea Bun Club, which she's recently sold. She's a triple certified mindset and positive psychologist coach. She's a mum, a business owner. She's a Muay Thai fighter. She's a wife. She's everything. So welcome, Victoria Knowles Lacks. For those who don't know her, here she is.
Oh, thanks, Elaine. God, that was a hell of an intro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
proper,
thanks.
isn't it? So tell us about your Make It Happen book and the connection with the Shotgun Chelsea Bun Club, where it all started.
Yeah, sure. So with my first business, it was like an accidental business, the Shotgun and Chelsea Bun Club. And I had massive success really early on. I had this really huge trajectory of just success. And I was winging it. I didn't know what I was doing, had no experience in business. I took four girlfriends clay shooting and then mentioned it on Twitter. And people were like, wow, can I join your shooting club? And I was like, yeah, of course. So kind of winged it totally. And then obviously worked my absolute ass off and had like a really strong vision, but created this business. But I had a lot going on in terms of self-confidence, lack of self-belief, lack of self-worth, like chronic people pleasing, lack of boundaries. So even though I was having like massive success on the outside, like on the inside, I was just like running myself ragged and like into the ground. I'd be away like 48 weekends of the year, and I was really busy on the morning of like my granddad's funeral, and I was just wasn't present with my family because I was so focused on like bigger, better, more, got to keep going, got to kind of just keep on getting bigger. Um, and then my dad got really ill in 2015, I think it was. And then I had a bit of a mindset shift. I watched The Secret, like a lot of people, which is like quite often like the gateway into like mindset and gratitude and stuff like that. And I started a morning routine, like which was a gratitude list and just setting some intentions and just having some like focus time in the morning. So I'd gone from like literally just waking up, brushing my teeth, having a wee, and then just straight into my laptop,
Yeah.
like literally just on the go, like all day long, eating really bad food, not drinking enough, not moving enough, saying yes to everything that wasn't aligned. And actually, I started to create some space for myself. And it was kind of miraculous, really, which I know sounds a bit cheesy, but in the space of like a couple of months, I totally started to shift my mindset and started to find like this inner peace and this self-worth. So Make It Happen, that was a really long story, but like Make It Happen was it was like a culmination of that, really. It was telling everyone that about the journey of literally wearing like busy as a badge of honor, and then to the shift and how, and then sharing what I'd learned. So just little things like taking a moment, and then how to bring like more balance into your business. So yeah, so that went live. My dad died. I mean, I shared a lot about what I learned with my dad, like losing my dad. I wrote it after the year after he died, and he would have been so proud. He really would have. It became a #1 bestseller, which was like a really unexpected and a pivot into coaching for me because I was quite unhappy in the business, like in my business. I'd outgrown it and wasn't in alignment with it anymore. So I yeah, made this pivot into coaching and then spirituality and mindset, and yeah, and now I help women with uncover and embody their warrior, which feel, yeah, that's obviously where I am in my life. You know, the resilience, the courage, the heart, the purpose, the authenticity. So yeah, it feels good.
Yeah.
It's always right.
It's as I say, it's embodied through everything you do, and I think it's beautiful. And you are a Muay Thai fighter. Tell us about that. I know you've a fight coming up this weekend, and that may surprise many because you are one of the most beautiful souls that I've ever met. I don't think in all the time that I've known you, I've ever seen you show any form of aggression. So where's obviously things perhaps run a little bit deeper than that. You're not what you would expect a fighter to be. So tell us about that. What made you get into fighting? How does that connect with everything?
Yeah, totally. I just love it. I'm a 40-year-old mum and I go out fighting like a couple of nights a week, like fighting. And then as you know, I've got like a fight coming up on Saturday night. I think there's going to be like 500 people there. One in a couple of weeks as well. But growing up, I grew up in the Midlands and just went to quite a rough school, and we lived on a council estate. And I was always such a passive child. I always felt like I had, like my dad always used to say he really admired my spirit, but I would like never speak up for myself. I got beaten up once, like quite badly, and I got bullied. And I was always just like the good girl that always like said yes and was always really nice. And I think I still am really nice, much less of a people pleaser now. But why did I get into it? I suppose like on this like mindset journey that I've been on, and it's been about like empowerment. And when did I start? It was before lockdown. It was 2018 or 2019. My husband does a bit of martial arts, and then he said, "Oh, I've got this Muay Thai coach at my gym. Do you want to come along? I think it'd be really good exercise for you. You know, not exercise, but like I think you'd enjoy it because I was quite fit and always in the gym." And I went, and I was just like, I absolutely loved it. And it's just so like it's so technical, it's so difficult. So it's like boxing, but with kicking knees and elbows as well. They call it the art of the eight limbs. And it's just like it pushed me so much. And like I showing up to a gym with like a load of blokes when you're an absolute beginner is tough, right? So I had to find like loads of courage and I had to find some resilience. And I was just really humbled by being a beginner and like starting from the absolute beginning with something. And I went a couple of times and I loved it. And then the guy was like, "Oh yeah, you know, it's nice to see, you know, a girl here having a go." And yeah, I just totally fell in love with it. And then lockdown happened and I got pregnant and had a baby and then got back into it quite big. When was it? Like a couple of years ago. But I did my first Muay Thai fight a couple of months ago, which was amazing. I just love it. It's for me, it's being like a warrior and doing what I do. It's like I'm not just like one thing. It's what I do. It's like I'm an expression of so many different parts of me. So there's this part of me that's totally got my own back, you know, that will stand in a ring and like fight, you know, that's one part of me. Then there's this real like sensual like goddess me that likes to stand in my bikini and like get my hula hoop out with my fighting sticks and just kind of like move. And then there's this like part of me that wants to like nurture and get on mama bear with people. And then there's like this therapist or counselor part of me that wants to like dig into people's like rawness and help bring that out and help them heal. Then there's this like medicine woman part of me that wants to like hold space and facilitate like ceremonies. And there's this silly part of me that just wants to play and like piss about and stuff. So it's like it's one of those like facets of my personality. And I just love it. And it's brought me so much because yeah, I have a fighting spirit now, like because I've got this like warrior essence. But yeah, if you'd have said to me like 10 years ago or even 5 years ago, well, yeah, maybe 6 years ago, like that I'd be doing fights, I would have absolutely like laughed at you and there's no way I would have believed you. But it's just it's about building resilience and it's about being committed and being courageous. And it's a hell of a feeling, honestly. It's like
Imagine, yeah.
the most amazing feeling, just like knowing that I've got my own back, you know, because I'm not going to
Yeah.
get my.
And like whatever level you're at, it's always a confidence thing again, isn't it? Wherever, you know, what your next fight, there's always apprehension, isn't there, for anybody, whether you're in business, whether it's anything at all that's new, challenges you. And we all have that that trouble getting out of our own way, don't we? But you are totally smashing it and just taking everything on head on, and yeah, the results are showing for themselves. It's amazing. That all ties up. And I know that you found your work's purpose and your absolute passion in your transformational retreats that you've been holding. Like, they just look amazing. Tell us about those and how they can help women in business that want to get out of their own way and show up and want to be more.
Yeah, totally. Thank you for that. Thank you for your lovely words. So the retreats. So I've been on this like massive healing journey for the past like however many years, trying to get past my own bullshit basically, and like all of my limitations and my reasons and my excuses, and kind of get back to like my authentic truth and power. And so many people have helped me along the way. And people just like holding me like in conversations. So, you know, I've invested, like everyone, like invested like a load of money in like coaches, therapists, you know, all these different modalities, even psychedelics. And it's, yeah, so many people have like just like held space for me and just allowed me to like explore like the inner workings, or like the reasons why I feel like I can't do things or can do things, and to just be like held, and for someone to like really see you and your essence, like it's such a magical thing. So like with me, I've got this tendency, like I just, you know, I just want to like have a good time, and just want to have like big not just, but I want to have like big conversations with people. And but there's so much depth to me, and I don't always let people see that, but when people do, it's like you can feel so deeply, like when someone really sees you, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so many people have done that over the years. And to be able to like, do that for others and then reflect things back to them to help them get unstuck is really powerful. And for me, I feel like the collective's going through a shift. I feel like a lot of women are like shifting back towards like empowerment instead of like playing small. And it's like something's been like ignited within a lot of us. And I feel like we're going to see more and more of this. It's like we're like awakening, if you like.
Yeah.
So yeah, I create these like amazing weekends that I just loved, that I, you know, I would love to attend myself. So we go like really like raw and really deep, you know, and we encourage the ladies to like let the mask slip, and just, you know, to just like drop the facade, drop all of it, and just come and like literally open their hearts and like just let us in, kind of thing. And then we have some amazing facilitators. I did one in February, and I had one of my like spiritual mentors, Shamir, who's a Sikh mystic warrior, and he came along, and it was just magical. And we did like a death and rebirth meditation. We did a medicine ceremony. We did some chanting, and it's just a place to like express yourself. Yeah, to be seen. We did a lot of like sound therapy and healing as well, and yeah, and it's about just being you. Does that sound a bit cheesy?
No,
But it's
because people are afraid to be that, aren't they? And what are some
right.
of the struggles that you see women in business have that you can help? What are some of the themes that you see reoccurring?
I think not enoughness is the biggest, and people feeling like they have this big dream, this big goal, this big vision, but they're like, oh, like it starts off well, but then they like something will happen, or they'll slip back into an old pattern, and all of a sudden I just like, who am I to do this? It's too hard. I knew I wouldn't kind of do it, and then they just fall off the face of the earth with like what's important to them. Yeah, so like self-belief, self-worth, and just feeling stuck and just not knowing the way. You know, there's all these women in business. You know, I've been in business for it's 2011 I set mine up, so 13 years, and I've been coaching for like 6 or 7. And it's like, yeah, this like lack of clarity. And a lot of business owners I see, that they, you know, they want to like help raise a consciousness of the planet, or they want to help women do like a certain thing. They're really like purpose driven and heart led, but they're just, it's like they go into like a freeze response, and they just don't know what to do next, and then they don't want to get it wrong, and they, you know, they've got responsibilities and like demands on their time, so they can't go like all in on it like they'd like to. And so
Feeling
yeah, I'd say like, yeah, right. Yeah, so I'd say like lack of clarity, lack of self-belief, or like feeling like they're enough or like worthy. Um, yeah, and just, yes, confidence as well, you know, confidence to get their magic and their heart out there.
And where do you suggest somebody who's feeling like that starts to start to bring in this warrior mindset into their business, to start to flip the switch? And what do you think they can do to
It's such a good question. I think that
track?
yeah, I think for me, it starts with like just connecting with the vision and like feeling into it. It's like, what do you want to do? And then just spend some time just like with yourself, because all of our wisdom's inside our body. It's just that like society tells us, you know, that logic is where it's at, but actually that's, you know, your thoughts aren't always true. And but when we're thinking about things logically, it's like through the lens of like our experience and like expectation and that kind of thing. But if you can just like tune into your body and just sit with like what it is that you want to do. So for instance, I just recently created an online course. So I had all the logically, I had all the excuses, well, all the reasons, like I'm, I've got my little boy and I haven't got time and I'm not very good on camera, and, all the kind of like rubbish made up excuses that are logical. And then I literally just closed my eyes and just tuned in, and then just felt what it would be like to get it done, like in my body, and just felt the excitement, and felt like how great it would be to just be in that creative space and just to create and share my heart and share my magic, and like what it would feel like to get my course out there. And like, I know that you've been through it, and you gave me some really amazing feedback and like love about it. So
It
it's
was
like kind
amazing.
of,
So glad you did do it.
oh, thanks. And it's like connecting to that excitement and that like feeling, and then yeah, like getting in the energy of it. And then I literally just write down like step by step, just break it down. How fun can you make it? How easy does it get to be? Because things don't have to be like a massive deal. They
Oh,
they get to be really easy. It's because it's your business. It's like you make the rules, right? You get to make it fun, and it doesn't have to be complex and convoluted, and you don't have to make it really hard. Like you can make business fun. And it's about just like being courageous as well, because the warrior woman is courageous and she does feel fear, but she moves forward anyway. And it's
yeah.
it's getting into the energy of that as well. It's because, putting something out there, like when I wrote my book, like, oh my God, the amount of like, even though I've done all this mindset work, the amount of like doubt and like vulnerability and like all this stuff that came up for me was like immense. Literally, I wrote like 9 chapters of it, and I did it in a Google Doc, and I literally hit delete on the whole thing. I was like, I can't put this out there. Like, what will people think? Because I really like shared my heart in it and talked a lot about my grief and like all my insecurities. And it was like, I can't share this. And yeah, just like that expectation and that fear of judgment all came up. But I pushed through it, right? And then I had so many comments and messages from people being like, oh my God, me too. I felt like that too. And like I felt really overwhelmed and burnt out. And like, thanks for sharing. And so actually, when you can find the courage, sometimes it's not just about you, it's about the other people as well, and like your ripple effect. And that's what warrior women do, right? They're here to change the world and create a ripple effect. So
Yeah, and that's so true. Withholding that information is, as I say this, and I say it with love, it's being selfish in a way, because all those people that you can help with, and even if you just get to help one person today, then you've done your job, haven't you? And that is a powerful thing. And I think also the not overthinking stuff, just, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just get it out there, get it done. You lived what you wrote through your book, so you were coming from your truth. It didn't have to be some fancy written book, did it? It was just there to help people, to let them identify and to help them to move through the same problems that you had. And yeah, I think that's a beautiful thing when you can actually get the courage to do something like that. That was a big move. That was, yeah,
oh,
great.
yeah, and you know what? There's about 7 typos in it. No one's ever commented on them. And it's like the point is, it was like I was sharing my heart and what I'd learned with the intention of like helping other people. And so the fact that there were a few typos, like just doesn't matter, like done's better than perfect. And you're amazing at that. And you're just, like how you share stuff, like how you confidently show up on camera, and like your reels and stuff, and how amazing they are. And it's like you never bother, like I was gonna say, you never bother doing your hair, but like you're out with your animals, aren't you? And you're out in the car, and you're just
You've got to get
it's
it done.
yeah, it's not about being perfect, right? And I love how you really role model that. Yeah, and I really
Yeah.
admire that too.
And I think that the type of people that pull up on typos are the type of people that really do need your work and my confidence stuff, because like typos don't matter. Typos aren't gonna, get you to the result that you want, are they? It's 70% done is
No,
perfect. That's plenty. So what
that's a
have you
really good.
got coming up now, as well as your fight? You've got your course out there, your Warrior Woman course, you've got your fight coming up on Saturday. What else have you got going on?
So I've got another fight on the 8th of June. So it's what's the date? We're recording this on the 23rd of May. And so I've got one on the 8th of June as well, which is another big one.
Yeah.
So it feels really fun. So yeah, I'm training really hard for that. I've got a retreat coming up in June, the 21st to 23rd of June. So that feels really fun as well. And
And
just kind of
where's that at?
that's in the Welsh border. So I live in Welshpool, and I work for this beautiful stately home. It's got like the most amazing like healing energy, and we take over the whole house for the weekend. He's got a yurt as well, the owner has. It's like this beautiful ceremonial yurt. So I'm just starting to like weave all the magic with that, and pull together like the workshops. And I've got an amazing lady called Sam joining me that does a lot of like alchemy and like transmuting like trauma. And I've got a lady coming to do a workshop about like divine masculine and feminine, and I'll be doing like a lot of cool stuff as well. And so yeah, so that feels really fun. And that's about it really. So it'll just be more retreats. I'm planning my first foreign one, my first European one. Just trying to decide whether to do it in November or whether to wait till like February. But yes, I'm just feeling into that at the moment, and just how exciting that feels. I just want to
Whereabouts in
travel.
Europe are you thinking?
Well, I was thinking somewhere like Morocco, or maybe like the Canaries or somewhere, because yeah, it's all about the winter sun, right?
Yeah,
So
brilliant.
yeah.
Brilliant. And where can anybody find you online that wants to know more about you, that wants to find out more about your retreat, more about your Warrior Woman course, working with you?
Oh, thanks, Elaine. Instagram's the best place. Just instagram.com/Victoria Knowles Lacks.
Yeah,
And
brilliant.
then who wants to send me a message or anything, I've got a free clarity training that I give away. And yeah, I put everything on my link tree on my Instagram.
Brilliant. Absolutely perfect. So showing up with a warrior woman mindset in business. Thank you very much, Victoria. This has been amazing, and thank you.
Pleasure. No, thank you.